What's up, everyone? Trent here.
Along with Julia.
Welcome back to the channel, and we're back with episode 5 of The Last of Us, Feel Her Love. And Ellie and Dina arrived in Seattle, and things have taken a bit of an unexpected turn. We got introduced to Isaac of the WLF and learning that they've been in a conflict with the Seraphites. And that brutal scene leading up to the zombie hall where they've got WLF members just disemboweled, hanging.
Yeah.
But Dina being pregnant, a big revelation, and they now know the location of Nora.
Yes.
So let's check it out.
Let's go.
So Hanran. Oh, it's not good to have everyone looking at that.
Welded shut, too.
Yeah. Hurts a little bit. She looks like she's seen some stuff.
Your soldiers are loyal to you. I think they're worried we're gonna execute you.
If I was getting executed, Isaac would have come himself.
There's a shooting near the borderline between us and the Scars. Treaty might be broken. He's dealing with that now. If it's war again, we're gonna need all the soldiers we have, so he's wondering why you apparently killed some of your own men.
Including Leon.
Leon,
I'm assuming they're all infected to kill them.
what happened?
My unit is responsible for
Securing the hospital. I know your orders. I gave them a lease. What happened?
We cleared the ground floor up to the 6th. A few scattered infected here and there, nothing we couldn't handle. All that was left was the basement. B1, B2, B3. We were expecting the worst, the kind of environment they like. Plus the old-timers said down there was where they brought the first cordyceps patients in '03. On top of that, we had an access problem. These stairwells here and here caved in, and all the elevator cars are stuck in their shafts just below ground level. The only way in or out of the basement is here.
So say one way in, one way out.
So yesterday, that's where I sent a squad down to B1. Nothing. The whole floor was empty, not even rats. So today, B2, hoping for more of the same, I sent another squad down. And I put Leon in charge, because he's my best. A few minutes in, he radios back. There's cordyceps on the walls, the floor. Chances are they'll find infected next, but that's what they were down there for, so I told him to proceed. 5 minutes later, he radios again. But this time, he was struggling to breathe.
Oh, the
He could hardly
spores.
talk. I thought maybe he had been bit. I said, Leon, were you bit? He said it's in the air.
Yeah, it's airborne. The spores.
He said it's in the air. Seal us in.
Shh, seal us in.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't an event, or we would have all been infected weeks ago. So I scrambled my other team, and we locked the only door to B2, and we locked the only door to B1. And we did what Leon said.
Sealed them in.
We sealed them in.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, that explains the somber look
Yeah.
outside the door from everyone.
No one else has gotten sick. Okay. The hospital's a resource we can't afford to lose. I'll inform only the people who absolutely need to know and no one else. As far as I'm concerned, Sergeant Park, you resolved the situation permanently and heroically. We owe you a debt. I'm sorry about your son.
The demeanor, the teardrop, the coming to terms with what she's had to sacrifice, and that revelation of a son. Wow.
But a new way of it spreading.
Yep. Well, spores were a big part of the first game because that's the only I haven't played the second. So it's been interesting that the spores were emitted season 1 and now they're coming in.
I guess the evolution.
Handy to have that radio. Track their movements. Find a safe path. Pretty.
What? Lights.
Let there be light.
Oh, good. They have a big ass generator down there. Natural gas, baby. You figured out yet?
Getting there.
You'll find a safe way to get us to the hospital, though, right?
There's no guarantee it's going to be safe, Ellie.
Pressure.
No. Why? Because I'm stupid?
That's not the word I would use.
Really? What word then?
Impulsive.
Non-school oriented.
School, let me help.
I'm triangulating. Do you know how that works?
Yes? With triangles.
It's pretty standard. I get a bearing of their troop movements and then triangulate back to their bases. I'm estimating angles, so I mean, if I had a protractor, it would be a lot more accurate.
Oh, I actually brought a protractor.
You did?
No. I don't know what that is, and I hated math. I'm gonna leave you alone now. And
Not
go
at all
to the rest
helpful,
of this
Ellie.
place Because you're smart as fuck, and you're figuring it out.
Ellie,
Yes?
That'd be so cool walking through an empty auditorium. A beautiful empty
Oh,
auditorium.
beautiful, yeah. Wow.
Have the whole stage to yourself. The calm that comes over when she's about to play. Like, this is the piece of Joel.
If I ever were to lose you. Did you figure it out?
I think so, yeah.
Good.
They run a line of patrols north and south, like this. They're pretty evenly spread out, so they're watching that entire area. But there's a gap between here and here. Now on this map, do you see this long-ass building? Mm-hmm. We cut through and slip by.
What is that long ass building?
No clue. But it's set off from the residential area, so maybe it's a warehouse or something.
It's a big fucking something for them just to ignore. Why aren't they patrolling it? Infected.
Probably.
Yeah.
Nora should be on the first floor, far end of the north wing.
Wait, how the fuck do you know that?
They never shut up. I hear everything.
Middle of a fucking war and they're just broadcasting their positions.
Because they have nothing to worry about. They think they're
They're
in.
fighting the scars. We already know they use bows and arrows, right? And they seem culty or at least really religious. You ever hear of Amish people?
Amish people? No.
Well, they were around back in '03, but they chose to live like it was the 1800s. Maybe the scars are like that? No electricity or technology? Because these motherfuckers talk on the radio like they know no one's listening.
Yeah, and they didn't care that a walkie was missing.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
good. They're overconfident. It gives us an edge.
It does, but what we're doing is reckless, so kind of a wash.
And they also have a lot of weaponry.
If we were to leave now, it'd be dark by the time we got to the big fucking something, right? Let's go be reckless.
Hope the horse is okay.
He was locked in the record store, it's fine. I'm just worried that the recklessness is going to make Ellie make a bad decision about Dina. To protect the baby.
Are you sure this way's safe?
You don't trust me?
I trust you. I don't trust Seattle.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Let's just talk like everything's fine, because if I get too anxious, I'm gonna barf again.
Alright.
Also fair.
What are you gonna name it? Huh?
Oh, if it's a girl, Ellie. If it's a boy, Elijah.
Really?
No.
What? It's a cool name.
What the fuck?
Or did Sarah fight? Oh!
Oh!
The feel of this bitch underneath. Just a execution.
We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't have come. I shouldn't have dragged you here. You're having a fucking baby. What am I doing?
Yeah, she's going to overthink and over.
I'll take you back. You don't need to do this with me. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid.
You know, you never asked me about the first person I killed.
Huh? Okay. Who?
When I was little, we lived in a cabin in a forest, and mostly it was just us alone.
And I would get so bored cooped up with my mom and sister. I would just beg them, just let me play outside. But my mom was scared and she wouldn't let me go outside alone. But one day I just fucking did. And I had a gun, so who's gonna fuck with me? Now you already know how this story ends because I don't live in a cabin north of Santa Fe anymore. And I don't have a mom or sister anymore. But since everyone's past is fucked, and we've all heard everyone's fucked stories, how do you think this one goes?
I don't know. Raiders?
Just one. And then?
You got home, they were dead, he was gone.
Almost. He was still there.
Oh,
I heard
no.
them screaming,
Oh.
and I ran back with my gun out, but I was too slow because I was fucking 8. And when he heard me, he turned around, and he looked really startled. And when I shot him, he looked more startled.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. How did you get to Jackson?
Doesn't matter. This is what matters. Whatever reason Joel gave those people to do what they did, he didn't deserve that. I think, what if I hadn't snuck out? What if my mom and sister were beaten to death in front of me? What if that motherfucker made
a
me
lot of
watch
what
as
ifs.
he did it? Would it make a difference if my family had hurt his people first? No. And if I hadn't killed him, if he had gotten away, I promise you, I would have hunted him down forever.
Explains Dina's resolve. That's a lot of guilt to put on yourself at the what if I hadn't have done.
As an 8-year-old.
As an 8-year-old, yeah.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want. There's no right answer. If I die, it's on me. It won't be your fault.
Nice.
So what do you want to do?
Keep going.
Good, a good way to lift the weight of the burden that Ellie would be feeling and the responsibility. No one's accountable for my actions but me.
Yeah.
Do you see anything? No, let's go. Hurry, down.
Anything that has like silos and
Cover me.
just a rundown warehouse, never. a
Yeah,
good idea.
yeah. I'm guessing it's just going to be like full of infected. Well, I'm having bolt cutters though.
She planned well.
Yeah.
Resourceful and planned very, very well.
At least we're not blocked in.
And there are 2 more positives. The searchlights are up high to scan the outside, which means there'll be no line of sight to the inside.
Good. What's the other positive?
That door's open, and nothing's come out to kill us. Yet.
Great.
I'm gonna take a peek.
Yeah, you should do that. Because you're the one who can't get infected.
Meh.
Off you go.
Off you go.
Yeah, but if you get overrun, your immunity's not gonna.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
How
They'll
does
just
it look?
bite you to death.
Haunted but empty.
Huh. Just like us. I'm not saying there won't be infected somewhere in there. In fact, there's no fucking way this entire place is empty. But simple logic, it's not gonna be a horde, right?
Uh,
We're
Right.
not underground, and the wolves are right next door with their vehicles and lights. Horde's not gonna ignore that shit.
It's a good deduction.
it's a good
So
deduction.
We've got maybe a few strays and a couple clickers. We can handle that. We've done it like a million times.
Yeah.
It's a horde.
But shooting has to be a last resort. So if the wolves hear gunfire, then we'll have a whole army up our ass.
Fine.
Ellie,
What?
if it gets bad and we have to make a choice between shooting or running, we run.
Run.
Last resort. I got it.
Say it.
Listen, Ellie.
Oh, you think that no matter what happens, I'm just gonna start firing?
Literally every single time. Don't get angry. You're a little crazy. And that's exciting. That's one of the reasons I love you.
That's why I love that about you.
I do want to make it out of here.
You gotta be level-headed.
Me?
Aww. You love me.
You love me. Oh, the little smiles.
Oh, I know. So tell me again, what's the plan?
Knives or run?
Okay, crazy. Here we go.
I love the way they look at each other.
I do too.
Like, you just feel all
I
the emotion.
don't. I feel all the emotion at the moment, but I also feel like the rising dread of what the hell is behind a door number 1. and 2.
The atmosphere.
The ominous music that...
Yeah. It's like a wind, just a...
Yeah.
So far, so good.
It's the hauntedness.
So far, so good.
Oh, wait.
How many cliche lines can be said?
Do you hear something?
No.
No, you did.
So this way then?
These sorts of scenes, I'm looking everywhere but
Everywhere
the people.
yeah.
Just because I'm expecting something to
Well,
go
it
around
was
the
like
back.
the little
girl?
girl one that crawled across the floor. What was that? It looked bloody.
Looked wet.
Moist.
Tina.
Uh,
Oh!
What the fuck is that?
It's acting like a little girl.
I think it's a smart one.
Yeah.
The one that stalked me at the supermarket.
yeah.
Okay, but you kill that one so we can kill this one too, right?
Yes, I killed it. Not before it got me.
Fucking bit you.
I didn't tell you. You would have.
You would have... Yeah, wouldn't have believed me.
It's gonna be fast and it's
Yep.
gonna be sneaky.
Yep.
But this time it's 2 on 1. Now that fucker's gonna try to flank us. So I say we
One
flank
that
it
you've seen.
first. We split up.
And it seemed like you are.
Whichever one it follows, the other one comes up and takes it out from behind. Plan?
Plan.
This just got real for Dina.
Yep.
The sound effects. The...
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know. Let's go back the way we came.
If we run, they're gonna chase, so we have to go slow.
Behind, there's more. Oh god, there's more. Oh my god, they're like crowns.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You see that fencing over there? I'm gonna lure as many as I can. You're gonna run in there, secure the gate, secure however you can, and stay in there. Dina, I can get fed a lot. You can't. Do as I say.
Good. Shoot the gun.
Dina was right though.
It's like being in a shark cage just
Yeah.
with infected crawling over you.
Ah! Oh shit.
Like she can get bit a lot, but if they just overpower, oh my god!
Ah!
I was going to say you'd kind of want the WLF to come in.
Is it though?
There's only one of them. Jesse!
What? No. She's okay. I was watching. They didn't bite her.
We gotta go.
He also deserves to know about the immunity.
Yes.
So that he must have been pretty close following then.
Yeah. Ah!
Like the fact that it's just not the infected you have to worry about. You got the Seraphites and the WLF.
I don't even like this.
No.
We don't go in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 unknowns chasing to the park, heavily armed, not scars.
What are they doing?
Not coming in the park.
Scars territory.
How did you find us?
The map you left in the theater. Impressive triangulation, by the way.
Thanks, that was old Dina.
Trust me, I didn't think it was you.
You
I want to fucking talk to you right now.
You came alone?
No, me and Tommy. We split up when we got to the city. Cover more ground.
can't believe they sent you after us.
They didn't, but you two were gonna die out here. So we snuck out the next night. That's a good thing we did.
You know what would have been pretty fucking good
Up until what?
Till we weren't.
Yeah.
Is Tommy okay?
Hopefully. We're supposed to rendezvous in the morning. Get back to the theater, shelter for the night. Meet up with Tommy, and then we all go home.
No. Ellie.
The whistles.
Yeah, the whistles.
What the fuck is that?
Definitely Scott.
Wait, I'll join. I'll join you. I'll join.
Right, well,
No, wait. I know things. I know what Isaac is planning. I can help you.
we have no interest in your words, for the corrupted soul knows only lies. So taught the prophets.
No. Please don't gut them. Oh.
Oh,
No.
you're going to disembowel him.
Yep. Sorry. No.
He is nested in sin.
Oh.
Dina's hugging Ellie.
Ah.
Oh!
No.
Yes. Oh, that's gross.
How are you free?
Oh!
I'll leave them away. Get her out. Go. I'll meet you back in the theater. Fucking go.
You won't get away, Wolf. She sees you. She watches over us all.
It's just
The comparison of the two fights and the two, like, between guns and arrows and
yeah.
May she guide us.
May she guide us.
All right, spread out.
I just love the ritualistic nature of it. Good hiding spot, Ellie. And that transition from the torchlight to just darkness.
hospital entrance. Ellie.
I hope Dina's okay. The piercing eyes. Just the determination.
Not sure. Checking it out. Come on, Bonnie.
Listen to your dog.
Go on, say it's a rabbit.
It was a critter or something.
A critter!
All clear.
Well, Nora's alone. Perfect time for Ellie to strike.
Put that shit down. Hands up, turn around. You remember me? Yeah, you remember me. Where's Abby?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
You shoot me, the sound will have every soldier come running.
You'll still be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me where she is and maybe I let you go.
We could have killed you.
Maybe you should have. Or maybe you should have stayed the fuck out of Jackson. Nora.
The realization, oh
Yeah.
crap, she knows my name.
I'm sorry you saw it happen.
Not sorry that we did it, sorry you
I
saw.
have to see something like that. Sometimes at night, I still hear his screams. It was a terrible thing, the way he died. Yeah, the little bitch got what he deserved.
Oh! She's trying to goad her.
She's trying to go. Yep. Shit, Ellie!
Run the gauntlet. Dead end.
Yep. No, 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 no. It's gonna go down!
Yeah.
Down! No!
You're going down to the basement.
Yep.
Oh.
That was very stupid!
Oh, to be fair, it was either that or she dies.
Choose death!
I think she just did.
Oh, the spores.
The spores just glistening in the light. Love how subtle they are.
Mm. Oh my god, that's grotesquely beautiful. Oh my god.
Well.
It looks like it has faces. Oh, the spores.
The ones that were stuck down there are making themselves part of it.
That looks like a nurse. Or a doctor, like, not...
Yeah, all the ones that were trapped down there.
I guess I was right in saying that that has faces.
Yep.
Oh,
Leon.
You are right, yeah. I like that it's got movement and tendrils to it.
Nora's struggling.
Yeah. And I wonder what her face is going to be like when she realizes Ellie isn't.
It's worked quick.
We're breathing spores. We're infected.
You're infected.
Did I?
Notice.
The realization.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
The one Joel saved.
Mm-hmm.
The immune girl, you're real.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you killed her dad.
Don't you know what he did? I don't care. You don't care. He killed everyone in that hospital, including the only fucking person alive that can make a cure for me.
Killing her.
That was Abby's father. And Joel shot him in the head. That's what he did. I know.
He must have told her. During that time of fixing the guitar that we don't see.
Where's Abby?
The coldness in her expression.
What are you...
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
It's just evoking the way Abby was.
Yep.
Like the pipe's even got the little golf club type head.
No.
Oh.
Where is she?
The music.
Mm.
The rage.
Yep. Oh, flashback.
Hey, kiddo.
Well, that's a contrast to the brutality of
the
Ellie
brutality
just
that was
completely
happening?
taking out all of her anger on Nora in a very similar way
in
to
a very similar way
how Abby did on Joel. But just the entire coldness.
It's the light really helped
That
show
set the tone
almost
for
the
it.
void that was forming in her eyes, where it was just
Don't you know what he did? I know.
No. And even if she didn't know and Joel didn't tell her, to still play it in that regard and still have that just mask on to go, yeah, I know. And?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no justification for your actions.
Yeah, there's
in
no
her eyes.
Yeah, there's no justifications either. Like it's you're in a dystopian future that is a tit for tat.
Well, it's the consequences of choices and actions,
Yeah.
and the actions of people have different paths that they take, and there's different endings in those paths depending on if they've done good or bad things. And even then, good and bad aren't plain. They're not.
Yeah.
There's so much ambiguity and morality that's questionable in any decision.
In any decision, yeah.
So Ellie's definitely going down a dark path at the moment that I think is going to be very parallel to Abby.
Because it's a very interesting technique to torture her as well, because she's already dying.
Well, that's the thing.
And then it's sitting there going, and that's it. It's sitting there just going, I'm literally making your final human, uninfected moments torturous to sit there. So when it takes over and you're still potentially there screaming in your brain as the cordyceps overtakes your body and pins you to a wall, like we just saw with the crew that went down.
Yep.
You will still know and still be in that pain. Or I could kill you if you give me the information and then you won't feel a thing.
Yeah, you're going to be in perpetual pain.
Yeah.
Through your final living moments to when you are fully infected. And you're going to be part of this symbiotic growth in level B2 of the hospital.
That was beautifully grotesque. It reminded me very much of Annihilation aspect, where
everything was overgrown,
but then
fungus and
on
beautiful.
The pool one in particular, where it was very humanoid, and that's why I was like, I see faces. I saw faces. Yeah, there were faces in that thing. But the spores just coming out.
The spores coming out, but the spores just glistening in the air. For all intents and purposes, we had Ellie and Dina describing that warehouse they were in as haunted, eerily haunted. The atmosphere, that was a different haunted.
Yes,
it was a beautiful haunting.
Yes,
the glistening of the spores. Life is thriving. It's just life that is consumed.
Life consuming life.
Yeah,
in a very
evolving.
It was slick is how the best way I can describe looking at it was. It looked oil, like you were moving through an oil and a sheen, but that was in the regards of the
they did
spores.
They did really well to get the air movements and how the
air
movements moves through the
great.
air. But this is life. This is life consuming life and growing into something, evolving into something new, which we've now had more development on. The stalker situation with the young girl being what Ellie primarily encountered in earlier on in the season to now it coming almost full circle of this one's smart. This was the one that was following me and trying to flank me this way, but then elevating the threat level to a lot of them.
A lot of them. I like the subtle changes in the designs of that kind of tendril crown, almost antenna-esque.
I just thought Darth Maul.
I was
like, they're from Dathomir, it's fine.
Yeah. That was really cool seeing that to differentiate between just a different runner aspect or a clicker.
The more cerebral nature.
Cerebral nature of they're expanding out of the brain because they're keeping that aspect of the human.
But the fact that that one was perched up like a sentry, it was like it was a lookout perched up, drawing the attention, and the others were going to come up and go from the side. So they're working.
They're working in unison as well, which is even scarier.
Well, what's also scary is their strength.
Their strength is ridiculous.
Like, I know it's rusted and probably not as durable as it would be, but they're still pulling off those metal grates with relative ease. But I like this show, and I would like to actually play part 2 after this, because I am very intrigued to know more lore about the Seraphites and the WLF. Like, we had the focus on Isaac last episode. We got Hanrahan at the start, and kind of more, just passing comments about Isaac being on the outskirts and dealing with the Seraphites. But seeing it's very interesting in a post-apocalyptic world where society's essentially collapsed. We had Fedra, who were the governing body, patrolling the various cities and the kind of exclusion zones, abusing their power, which caused the rise of a resistance. And now you got the WLF as a militia who have taken over that and are now the force in power, who are also kind of acting like Fedra in the way that they're oppressing the Seraphites and treating the Seraphites. But then you've also got the religious element where there would be a void in faith, and you have someone who is a prophet, just as Isaac said, just a regular person. Yeah. People have found faith in the worst of time and come together and built their own religion. And as Dina said, it's very similar to she drew a comparison to the Amish.
Yeah.
And seeing just how they perform ritualistic sacrifices in the name of the prophet, and their cleansing will disembowel you and you'll be set free and see the ways of the prophet. Yeah, how are you going after that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You didn't have to lay down, that's fine. You didn't pass out, that's good.
I didn't watch most of it. No one have a go at me at the comments for that, because that was disturbing.
Well, if you didn't see it, they did a really cool thing where the guy with the sickle didn't even move the sickle.
Yeah, I know.
He just put it in and they lifted it.
I know.
You saw?
No. I saw enough.
Oh, okay.
That I then didn't need to... No. I have fun enough imagination on my own.
I just wanted to remind you that that's how it went.
I will literally punch you in the throat.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No. But... with a sickle. But the rise of a religion and the way people have formed faith in a world where there would be a lot of questioning of faith, and how that's all come to fruition. And I would just love to see more of the conflict and the history of that conflict, because they were around when Fedra was around. You got that with that intro last episode. But you also picked it really well as soon as hitting into the park of the... Why didn't they go in?
We don't go into the Darklands.
But again, there was the mention of the treaty. And obviously the treaty would be identifying certain areas that are, stay out of off limits.
Yeah. And... Dina and Ellie did point out that, God, they do talk a lot for people not listening. So it did definitely show that disconnect of the Seraphites not using a modern technology in that regard, keeping it as base as possible so they don't... Potentially, there could be... I do not know, but there could be link in their minds to technology and that rise and the rise of the infected. In that regard, so if we stay away from technology,
they see it as what led to it all.
What led to it all. So if we stay away from that, we are safer.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Which
then definitely makes the divide even greater between the WLF and the Seraphites as well, because it's in there going, well, no, our core fundamental values do not align in this regard. We don't want technology. You are using it. We believe it brings them closer to us because they feed on that energy or that heat.
But it's also an age-old debate of people wanting power.
You've
got the Seraphites who blame the WLF for atrocities. We see the Seraphites commit the disembowelings. You see and hear about. We saw the execution wall where it was the feel her love, and then they graffitied feel this bitch, like, and it's an endless cycle of violence where it's the chicken and egg scenario. Where does it end? Where does it stop? And in this sort of situation, it feels like it's going to stop when only one gets overridden. But you've got Seattle, and I mean they pointed out that Seattle is just completely stuffed up in this circumstance. You've got the infected, you've got the spores now, which they're keeping quiet.
Which I get it.
You don't want to create
also
alarm, but
you need to tell everyone.
You need to tell people that they could be breathing stuff in, and
and yes, the hospital is a good resource, and yes, but also ventilation system. Air moves regardless.
Yeah. But at least
the year 7 science question I got wrong, and it sticks with me to this day, is why did the molecules move? Because of air. No, they just move.
Someone's projecting.
Yes.
But the battle between all three for dominance in the territory is going to be an interesting power struggle.
But it was interesting how, with the warehouse in particular, knowing it was off limits to the WLF as well, going, well,
they were leaving it as a...
We're not touching that because we know what's in it. So therefore, if we leave it and we don't bother them, they don't bother us.
Yeah, but in turn, we got Jesse and Tommy coming after them, which we haven't seen Tommy yet, unfortunately.
A day later, so it's nice little timeline to know how far they're
because they've only
behind.
They've only been in Seattle 2 days. This was day 2 for them being in Seattle. So
it took them a day or 2 to get to Seattle as well. So
how long does it take to get from Jackson, Wyoming to Seattle? Because it's all on the west coast, but it's like 3 states over.
The only way I'm doing it is they left at night. They travelled through the morning. They then had one sleep to then arrive in Seattle.
Americans, please tell us how long it would take to get from Wyoming to Seattle, because I'm not buying that math.
No, that math. We watched it in the episode. They slept in the tent.
It's gonna be a montage. A montage. I'm not buying that by horseback. Tell us, Americans, please.
I think that like their day 2 and day
Anyway, we'll move on.
We'll move on from this.
I like that we got more of Dina's backstory in what's kind of
brutal.
in what's kind of made her strong resolve, and taking accountability for her own actions and making Ellie not have to worry about it, and the strength that she has.
Yeah, and definitely where a lot of her resolve comes from, and a lot of her what if questions as well. Yeah,
but and the fact that you don't even have to see something like that, and you just have to hear the age and what was happening to the family, and the fact that at 8 you had to take someone's life.
And how she said it as well. It was said with so much raw emotion with it as well, where it was kind of having a go at Ellie, but not, where it was well, I'm now not living in that cabin, and I don't have a mum, and I don't have a sister, so we all know where this is ending. It was that kind of, that rawness. She's such a good actor.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Isabella said it's fantastic. But just the way they communicate with each other, and the up and down of the let's be serious at this point, and then the let's throw in the snarky remark talking about Ellie's intelligence and her impulsivity. And going along with Ellie, what are we going to call the kid? Oh yeah. Ellie and Elijah. Really? No. But it's making light of a terrible situation and to try and minimize this feels dangerous as hell. This is a weird place.
Yeah.
But the subtle touch of being on stage and playing the guitar and then just choking with the... You could tell she was remembering Joel and how important it was to that. So to finish with Joel with the "Hey kiddo," with Pedro looking super happy.
Yeah.
Just super charming. I think next episode is going to be a kick in the teeth emotion-wise.
Yes.
And speaking of a kick in the teeth, Nora with her basically talking about no one should have seen that and the softness and the bitch got what he deserved. And I was like, oh.
It's like you were 100% right in the reaction as well. She was completely and utterly baiting.
Yeah, baiting
in order to get the reaction as well. But that was just beautifully done in the... I sometimes hear his screams. And it's like, are you going to sympathize with this? Because you kind of didn't stop it. And then
No, as soon as she said, I sometimes hear his screams, I was like, oh, you're playing this.
Playing in that.
Yeah. But interesting that she made the comment of, we're both breathing spores, you idiot.
That realization that came through of we're
girl.
both dead.
Yeah.
And then just Ellie's, are we?
Which almost made it seem like it was a sacrifice play, that she was either going to die, so it was like, let's take this person out by going down to B2.
Yeah, see, I wonder if it is I would love to have...
Because she was trapped.
Hindsight, know the information of, yes, she was trapped. Yes, going in the elevator was your goal to go up. Okay, cool.
I
don't know what the goal was in that regard.
I thought she was going to possibly try and climb.
Yeah, maybe try and climb, but then Ellie still has a gun. To then fall down to B12 and then have that absolute fear in her eyes when she realised she hit B2 as well.
But they talk...
So it was knowing it was off limits, but then maybe she did know.
Yeah.
But
they and again, it plays into they have technology and they don't care who hears them on the radio because no one's going to question them. They can't shoot for shit.
Oh God! I was thinking halfway through one of the shootings, they're shooting like stormtroopers.
Yeah, they cannot. They could not shoot. So
But then I also do.
It was unexpected and not.
I give a little bit more leeway as well because it's not like you would have been trained. You would have had training.
They would have had training.
Training on how to handle the weapon, on how to reload and like troubleshoot, but not like a boot camp.
No, we don't know. We saw them marching.
12-month.
We saw them all marching.
Doesn't mean they sat there and would
military?
waste bullets in order to learn to shoot.
They're cocky. They're arrogant.
I don't think they would have got proper shooting training because bullets are finite. There's no armories, so it would have been sitting there going, it's finite. So you shoot on the go, aim for the head.
Which nice touch in Dina running out of bullets in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adding to the suspense.
It
would be finite. And
untrained in that regard. Trained, yes, to handle the weapon, not to shoot it in that regard, in aiming properly. Yeah. So as much as they're shooting like stormtroopers, I do give more realism to it because I don't think they're trained.
I don't. They sucked. They sucked at shooting.
They deserve it. They sucked at shooting.
Yeah, they sucked at shooting. They had one job. But no, a great ending.
Great ending.
The light illuminating Ellie with just the red, symbolizing that this is a boiling point. This is a crucible moment for her. This is the darkness coming up. Her eyes looked like a void.
Yeah.
They were piercing. She had, her expression was just heavy breathing and that had the crazy head tilt. I know. That was fantastic, and just the slow look over to grab the pipe, and just the camera work following the way it followed Abby, just holding the pipe. It even looked like the golf club with the hook on the end, and just beating the crap out of Nora.
Yeah.
So yeah, making her last moments on
this existence.
In this existence before she transformed fully, a absolute living hell.
Yeah. Because there's a timeline for you. The transformation for the team that went down first, that was less than a day.
Yeah, super quick.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. she's screwed.
Yeah, super quick. Well, there was the chart in season 1 about infected, even though that wasn't spores, so the spores would be much quicker.
I think the spores would be much quicker in that regard. But
I like the addition of spores. It was something that was missed in season 1.
I think you mentioned it during season 1 because I think I brought it up as a
non-player.
Mushrooms procreate by using spores.
Because from what I've heard, they didn't want to have the gas masks covering the actors' faces all the time. So I like that it's showing it as a natural evolution rather than having to physically infect.
Yeah.
It's now airborne, which raises the stakes of if this gets out or if you're in an enclosed space. It's much, much riskier.
Yeah.
Which was also it was a good reveal for the Ellie being immune. I like that it led into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, also that scene at the start, the cold open, showing like just the realization of stuff went different. They went down. There was no infected.
There were no rats.
We thought there was going to be something. There was nothing. They went down again, and they found nothing except
cordyceps on the wall. Yeah,
cordyceps on the wall and in the air, and that was a great. That
was a great opening
to build the tension and show what the theme of this season is that it's evolving and growing with the way they communicate and move around, and now you got the spores involved. So yeah, tell us your thoughts on episode 5 in the comments. I'm Trent.
I'm Julia.
And as always, keep it nerdy.